My name is Rick Capretta. Welcome to our unveiling of the nut tree plaque and the reinstallation of the nut tree sign. On behalf of Nut Tree Holdings, we want to welcome you. We're the master developer of the Nut Tree project, which just really quickly is a 70-acre project. And this building here represents our 29th building, and we just crossed over 400,000 square feet of retail space. It's our final retail building. So we've been, which I may add, we are the second largest sales tax generator in the city of Vacaville, I understand. Good thing. And as I was saying, this is our 11th anchor, 28,600 feet. So we're lucky at the Nut Tree to have such a great lineup of anchor tenants. Real quickly, we became the master developer in 2009. And back then, as you all remember, everyone had about 2 feet off the edge of the cliff. It was a pretty precarious time. We took over for the prior developer. And what occurred here at the Nut Tree was there was a lot of unfinished things to do. And what's so special for me today is that the replacement of this sign, which was an obligation we had under the DDA, is our final obligation in completing all of our master plan obligations. So that's a great day for us. So we're excited about that. And to give you an idea of what we've done, we were the original developer of that project across the street, which is a 30-acre, 333,000 square foot mixed-use project. We also built the new amusement park, which was a rebuild from the old amusement park, which is in the back of the project. And what we have left is about 22 acres, and in the next 1 to 2 years, we're going to be building 216 apartment units and about 150,000 square feet of business park uses. And at that point, we'll be thrilled in that we always stayed committed to our concept of completing our DDA obligations with the city of Vacaville. So that'll be great. Real quickly, I just want to, that's it as far as my comments, but I want to extend some thank yous, and then we're going to have 6 people give a 1 to 2 minute talk up here. But first of all, and most importantly, we wouldn't be here today without Saks Fifth Avenue, and the president of Saks Fifth Avenue is here, the outlet division, so you'll hear from him in a few minutes, but we take our clients, we care and take our clients very seriously, and as I was just telling Jonathan, the president, this has been one of the most seamless transitions, that's the wrong word, this most seamless processes that we've had in building a building. We signed this lease around late February, March 1st. The city was great with us, and we started construction March 24th, and we delivered this building in 3 months and 3 weeks, 1 day ahead of schedule, which is a record for us. So that was great. So we want to say thank you to Saks for working closely with us. We also want to say a big thank you to the city of Vacaville because, and I don't say this just because we're here today, I say it seriously, the city of Vacaville, we were able to start construction literally 2 weeks after submitting plans to the city. And the city has just been so flexible and so pro-business. We wouldn't have made it here today without the great efforts from all the folks at the city of Vacaville. So I want to say thank you very much. We have some folks here from Wells Fargo Bank. And Wells Fargo Bank has been with us since 2005 out here. And as we alluded to earlier, you know, the recession of 2008 was pretty tough, but Wells Fargo hung in here with us. Everything's obviously rebounded nicely, and we've had a great 9-year relationship with Wells Fargo Bank out here. We actually just finished paying off our final original master plan loan about a month ago, so that for our company was a big landmark moment. So thank you, Wells Fargo. And Larry Moorfield's here with Moorfield Construction. Where's Larry? Right there. Stand up, Larry. And Larry's the man who got this building built in 3 months and 3 weeks, and had a great superintendent out here. So we appreciate everything Moorfield did for us. And you're going to hear from John Vasquez. We appreciate everything from the county. You're also going to hear from Sean Lum of the Vacaville Museum. And I just want to make a comment real quickly about the Vacaville Museum and how thankful we are for everything they've done for us. And when you go across the street, in particular right at the amusement park, you'll see numerous artifacts from the original Nut Tree. If you walk By the way, you can tell I'm a sweater, so not ashamed of it. Just it is what it is. My son said wear a t-shirt, and I forgot, so the way it goes. But anyway, we also, Sean Lum and the Vacaville Museum provided us with a significant amount of photograph archives. So if you go around the project, you'll see 20 or 30 different images. And most importantly, the Vacaville Museum helped us greatly as far as tracing back the history with the signs. And you'll hear from Sean about what was involved with the construction of the original 2 nut tree pylon signs. So finally, I want to say a big thank you to Carol Carter. Where's Carol? Over there. Working, as always. She's been here since 6:30, and without Carol, our company wouldn't be doing as well out here as we are. And Carol, I really appreciate everything you do for us, so thank you very much. So, with that, we have 6 speakers, and I'm just going to come back every couple minutes here and introduce the speaker, but we're going to start with our beloved mayor of the city of Vacaville, Len Augustine.
Thank you, Rick. And since we only have 2 minutes, I'm going to cut my speech into about, I have 40 minutes here. I thought I was going to speak. Anyhow, it's nice to have you here. Jonathan Greller, the president of the Fifth Avenue store here, we are so pleased to have you here in person, and that's great. And also all of the dignitaries that are here. I'm sure that Rick will introduce them later. I do have Delena Harris, who's one of our council members, sitting here, and give her a big round of applause as well. So on behalf of the City Council, I want to welcome you all here to Vacaville, a wonderful city. I think it's the best city in Northern California, and obviously a lot of people do feel that way about it. We have been struggling for many years at trying to make this economy go back to where it was since 2009. And as you know, we're being very successful, and partly because of this great nut tree project that's here. A lot of people have, talked about it. It's like living in the past. Years ago, I married a couple. He was 92 and she was 82. And so the reporter and other people were there, including Channel 13. Channel 13 from Sacramento was there with a female reporter. She put the microphone in front of the 92-year-old man and said, "Now, why would a man 92 want to get married again?" And he said, "Because I live in the future, not in the past." And that's the same true of the nut tree here. We can't live in the past. A lot of people like to bring it back, but I'll tell you what, folks, this is really a very good producer of revenue for the city of Vacaville, both in property tax and sales tax, and God bless them for what they've done here. This has been a great project, and I want you to give Rick Capretta, who has picked up the ball, a great round of applause, because he rescued it. When it was in the process of failing under the previous developer, Rick jumped in with Wells Fargo, and they literally pulled it out of the sand and made it what it is today. And thank you to Saks Fifth Avenue off 5th coming here. We ought to name one of these streets 5th Avenue and show this place as being off 5th Avenue, I think. The fruit stand that was put here on July 3rd, 1921, that's the beginning of the nut tree. And it went all the way till 1996, when with 500 employees and an economy that wasn't really doing as well at that time, the nut tree closed. So we had a developer come in, one bid on the project, one person came in and did the best they could to make it into a good project. We put some restrictions on them, such as the train had to come back, the carousel, and obviously the signs and things like that as well. And so anyhow, he didn't quite make it, but Rick stepped into the fray, and with his vision and his fortitude, we are where we are today. So I want to thank him again for what he's done here. Saks Fifth Avenue represents us the final retail building, but I think also, quite frankly, in my own opinion, the best of the best. So we want to thank you for coming here. I can't wait to get in the store and have my wife look around the shop. Yeah, right. Anyhow, with that having said, I know that Sean is going to come to history. I was going to talk more about it, but I think since I was given 2 minutes, I'm about 1 minute and 55 seconds. So again, welcome to the city of Vacaville. We love our city, and we certainly love what's been happening here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next, I'd like to introduce the Solano County Supervisor, John Vasquez.
Thank you. I'm not quite sure why Rick wanted me to speak, but here we go. Some 50 years ago, I lived across the freeway on Highway 40, and I watched, later became Interstate 80, and I watched these signs go up. And I don't know if there's as many of us here today that were here back then. I see a few folks out there. But on March 18th of this year, I called Rick very early in the morning, and he called me back. And I said, Rick, we need to do something to save these signs. And he said, well, I think we can save one of them. And within, I'd say a half an hour, by 7:30, Rick had decided to save all of them. And we quickly, because of a relationship and a trust, over the phone agreed to save all 3 panels. One of them, part of one ends up here, and part of one ends up on the other project. The other 2 panels are across the street at the airport, and we accepted them in trust for the community. And so later on, we'll decide where they end up going, hopefully in and around this area. But you really have to thank Rick Capretta for taking that phone call very early in the morning, for Carol coming down here and making sure that everything was okay, for him talking to his contractor at the time, delaying the taking down of the signs. I mean, if this building probably should have opened 2 days earlier, but because a few of us were here, it did get delayed. But it was because Rick understood the importance of saving all of the signs that we're here. And I just want to thank him again, because had he not done that, we wouldn't have saved all of those. And I want to thank him for putting that one up here. I mean, the community really, truly loves that. That is a nice touch, and we're very appreciative of that. So, Rick, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'd like to ask Sean Lund to join us up front for a little bit of the history that we've heard so much about.
Oh boy. I am a historian, so 2 minutes is impossible. I'll work really fast. First of all, I want to recognize the creator of these signs. So the tower sign that we're going to see unveiled, and then the plaque that the dedication is for today that's on the front of this new building. The signs themselves were dedicated in 1964. They were placed here on this site, and they took 2 years to develop. And the person behind those 2 years and the amazing creation of these huge bas-relief nut tree logo signs was Don Burrell. And Don is a very, very important designer in the world of Vacaville, and certainly spread beyond, because it really was Don's vision that the brand of nut tree was so clean and so simple and so valuable along the highway that he was able to make these 72-foot tall tower signs, and the only thing he put on them is that one logo, repeated 3 times with just the words "right lane." You knew, as you were driving on the highway, those signs were for you, and you knew nut tree from that one tree. It's pretty impressive that a designer who came to nut tree in the 50s, and by 1964 his vision was so clear that he imagined these tower signs as a permanent signal that you are where you're supposed to be. You're at nut tree. You're in Vacaville. And I want to give a quote from a poet that I like very much. His name is David Masamoto. He wrote a couple of books about the Central Valley. But one of the quotes I like the best that he said is, "We know who we are because we know where we are." And I think that's something that Don would have embraced. And of course, I'm from the museum. I believe in the past. I'm into heritage. But what I do like is to piggyback on something that Mayor Augustine said, which is we also live in the future. And this, what we're doing today, to commemorate these signs and to appreciate them, gives another generation and a generation after that this sense of permanence, that we know who we are because we know where we are. So I do want to thank you. There are some facts and figures about the sign that are on the plaque that's going to be unveiled shortly. You're going to learn that each one of the panels is 12 tons, and that the steel beams were created and installed first, and that the bas-relief team was working out of a warehouse by the San Francisco airport, and that Nut Tree brought in a team from Italy to do the actual work, and that Francis Layton is the architect, and all those kinds of details are things that the museum keeps in its archives. But today we have the actual sign preserved as a living testament to Don Morell and to his vision and to what Nut Tree means to this community and what it has meant for all these years. So thank you.
So now we're halfway through. I'm going to invite Rick up because Lizette Marshman, who is here representing Senator Lois Wolk, has a presentation for Rick and Capretta Holdings.
How's everyone doing? On behalf of Lois Wolk and the 3rd Senate District, I would like to present the certificate of recognition to Rick and Nut Tree Holdings. There you go. Thank you for your commitment in preserving this historical panel.
And I can use this to cover my shirt. And as soon as we're done, I'm going to go in and buy a new shirt at Saks of Heaven. So, okay, with that, I want to thank you very much. And I think I've said enough, but we appreciate that very much. And by the way, my partner is here today, Charlie Smith, right over here. Say hello to Charlie. My wife, Lisa Capretta, sitting over there. And they're also a very important part of why this all got done. They given me the support and ability to finish this project. So thank you very much. Our last speaker before we have Jonathan finish up is going to be Jim Frazier, and he's going to say a few words. So Jim, come on up.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Rick, and thank you, Capretta Properties, for inviting me to participate in today's ceremony. It's an honor really to be here. Like so many California families, the Nut Tree came from pioneer stock. Since it started as a roadside fruit stand in 1921, as the mayor had mentioned, the Nut Tree has evolved, as you can see, undergoing many changes while constantly innovating and recreating itself. It has enjoyed great moments by hosting celebrities, elected officials, and even royalty. The Queen is here somewhere. It's also endured great lows, experiencing financial hardships, and it was forced to close operations in 1990. But the Nut Tree persevered. Today it is a leader in retail for the region and remains a model for mixed-use developments, including retail, dining, and entertainment. Rick, I am a general contractor by trade, and in the 25 years that I've been in the business, you should be very proud of what you accomplished here and in the time frame that you got this done. Masterful. Thank you. The Nut Tree has become synonymous with this I-80 corridor and is an iconic landmark for both the region and the state of California. And I'm proud to see its success, as I am encouraged by its future. It gives me great joy to know that the sign by which we identify the Nut Tree will continue to be part of that success, and I do appreciate the Ricos and the Vasquezes for their commitment to keeping community alive. So what I'd like to do now is present an assembly certificate of appreciation. On behalf of the California State Assembly, I am privileged to present this assembly certificate of recognition to the Nut Tree Holdings for your distinguished contribution to the local economy and your continued dedication to fostering and preserving the rich heritage of the Nut Tree and the region and the state of California. Well done. Rick, come on up.
I know we have one more presentation, but before we do, Rick, I think we have a much anticipated unveiling to do.
Okay, so I ask all of you to raise your glasses, and you're going to have to do one more. raise your glasses in toast. If you don't have one, give a celebratory raise. And we're going to do the unveiling of the nut tree plaque here that we've got at the entry to the new building. And who's going to pull it? I can. Well, Carol, why don't you come up here? Come on, Carol. Carol will do it. And you deserve it. Go ahead. So this is the unveiling of the plaque commemorating the installation of the nut tree sign on the south side of the building. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay, thank you. And do you want to? Yeah, Jim? We're going to come back up here.
Jonathan, come on up, please. I just wanted to be able to, again, recognize and thank you for your commitment to the Vacaville community and citing your operation here and promoting economic development in the city of Vacaville. So we wanted to present you with Assembly Certificate of Recognition and hopefully that if there's anything else that you'd like to expand in my district, I'm more than happy to help you.
We're in the Senate district.
Thank you, Jim. So, good afternoon, and on behalf of Saks Fifth Avenue off 5th, I would like to thank everyone for taking the time to be here to celebrate this exciting occasion. We are proud to celebrate with you today and be part of the community's plaque dedication ceremony commemorating the history of the nut tree. As president of the outlets for Hudson Bay Company, I would like to express how excited we are to be the newest tenants of this landmark property, and how very proud I am of the store that we have built here in Vacaville. Thank you to Rick Capretta of Capretta Properties for your help in that process. We look forward to continuing in the nut tree tradition of being a destination for shoppers in the region. I would like to extend a sincere thank you to Mayor Augustine for our welcome to Vacaville, and to the Assemblyman Jim Fraser for presenting Saks Off 5th with a certificate of recognition from the state of California. We are truly honored to receive this recognition. I would also like to thank John Vasquez, Sean Lum, and Lizette Marshman for joining us today. Lastly, I would like to recognize the Off 5th associates who worked tirelessly to open our store to the people of Vacaville today. I would now like to invite all of you to join me, Jim Fraser, and Mayor Augustine as we cut the ribbon and open the doors to welcome everyone to Nut Tree's newest retailer.
We are at the grand opening of the Saks Fifth Avenue off 5th store here in the city of Vacaville in the men's department. And with us is the mayor of Vacaville, Len Augustine, and the city manager, Laura Kuhn. So we'll talk to the mayor first. Mayor, it's a big day for us today, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great day for the city of Vacaville, yes. Another coup. And I think the nut tree has added some more class to its operation over here, and we're looking forward to a long time for this store to stay open.
And it's kind of neat that, starting way back when in the late 90s and early 2000s when this project was kind of first brought forth to get to this, the completion of phase 3. It's kind of a milestone for us, isn't it?
It's a huge milestone because at the time, we were taking a risk that this was going to be a successful operation. But with 200,000 cars a day going by here, we also knew that we had the opportunity to capture some of that traffic and to have them stop here and shop and dine and also enjoy the facilities. And so that's what's happening, and we're very pleased that Saks Fifth Avenue off 5th has come here and to locate in Vacaville. One of the first stores in California of this kind, so we're pleased, obviously.
Well, it's great that they're here, and we're excited. And Laura, it kind of brings full circle this development and adds something that was kind of missing, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. This is a full-service retail operation for soft goods for everyone in the family, and it's one of those niches that we were trying to fill for a long, long time.
Plus, I remember when we first announced that Saks was coming, and everybody, certainly the females in our audience, were thrilled that there's another place to buy shoes, right? I mean, that's a big deal, right?
You can never have enough pair of shoes, I think. That's probably true.
Right. You've seen my closet at my house. Well, my wife and I share a closet. So what's next for the Nut Tree development? Do we have any idea what's going to happen beyond the opening of Saks Fifth Avenue?
Well, we're working on plans for the area behind the Nut Tree, and there's a lot happening with the Jimmy Doolittle Air and Space Museum. Other plans, hopefully a hotel at some point in time, and lots of new ideas for what might happen right behind the Nut Tree.
Great. Well, thank you for your time, Mayor, Laura, and let's all go shop. So here we are with Jonathan Greller, who is the president of Hudson Bay Outlets Company. Did I get that right?
Company Outlets, close.
Well, one way or another, we'll get it. And of course, Ricardo Capretta, who is the owner of Capretta Enterprises.
Capretta Properties.
Capretta Properties, who's the developer of the Nut Tree, Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3. And we're at the grand opening of the Saks Fifth Avenue off Fifth Outlet. First of all, thank you for bringing the store here to Vacaville. We certainly appreciate it. And what kind of led to the decision to open the store here in our city?
Well, first let me tell you that we're thrilled to be here. We really are. And, this really started with our, fantastic real estate department who started to reach out to Rick about coming out to Vacaville. This is it was really important for the community. We are opening up stores all over and very successful in California, and we felt like this was going to be one of our next destinations, and we're thrilled to be here today.
Well, we're certainly happy to have you here. And Rick, this certainly completes Phase 3, I guess, but what more lies ahead for the Nut Tree?
Well, this is, as I said earlier, our 29th building. We've just completed over 400,000 square feet and since 2006, so it's been a long 9 years, but a great 9 years. And we're excited to have Saks, our 11th anchor, and what we have left in our 70-acre master plan is approximately 22 acres. And we're going to be building 216 apartments, which I think are going to be the highest quality apartments in the city in 2016. And then we have a business park we're starting, which is about 12 acres in the back there that will start later next year also, about 150,000 square feet.
Now, was there ever any point in this development that you thought, holy cow, what have I done? What have I gotten myself into? Because, we started out okay, and then the economy took a total dive, but you hung in there and fought your way through it.
Yeah, there were many nights where I questioned what we did here, but, we've never not completed development. We've paid back every penny we've ever borrowed. We take a lot of pride in finishing what we start, and we made that promise to the city, and we're close to finishing that promise, and we will keep that promise.
Good. That's good to hear. And personally, somebody who grew up in the Bay Area and drove back and forth, like most Bay Area residents who stopped at the Nut Tree and when they had the rocking horses. I love this place. I think this place is fantastic. I think it's a huge asset for our community. And now that we have Saks off Fifth here, it just makes it even more of an asset for our community.
Yeah. And I think the great thing about the Nut Tree is I know a lot of people love the old Nut Tree, but I refer to this as the new Nut Tree. And there is a different variety of things here that used to exist, and I think it's a great addition to the community. It is in particular bringing, as you can see by this beautiful store, bringing such a high-quality retailer to the city of Vacaville.
Thank you again for coming to Vacaville and being here today. And Rick, thank you for all the fantastic work you've done in this development. Really appreciate it. Okay, we are with Mark Owens, who is the store director here at the new Saks Fifth Avenue off Fifth store. Mark, welcome to our community, but from what I understand, you've been here for a while.
Yeah, I absolutely have. I've been a Vacaville resident since 2007. I could not be more excited to be a part of the Saks Fifth Avenue off Fifth opening here.
So this is good. This is like shortened your commute considerably, I guess.
Can I tell you, from an hour and a half to 5 minutes, I'll take it every day of the week.
Yeah, you're not kidding. So that right there should mean that we get like a 20% extra discount here, right?
Well, you know what? We've got a lot of special things going on right now.
So tell us a little bit about the store. What's going on in here? What can people expect when they come in?
Absolutely. So the things we're trying to get accomplished is ease of shoppability, connecting customers with over 800 designers. Those designers are going to be at affordable prices, and so you're going to find some kind of luxe product and high-end luxury easily shoppable, but to meet everybody's needs. When you think about it, it's not about just a younger crowd. We have our suiting environment. When you look at our fine jewelry department, I think it's world-class and it's going to be a great differentiator for us in the area here. But the big thing I want to talk about is how constantly we're going to be changing our designer feel and our designer look to keep fresh and new with the fashions that we have available.
Well, like you said, I'm looking around. You have signs that 70% off this, 40% off that. So clearly, you can get some really good values here at this store.
Absolutely. So I think about us. We're not an outlet. We're an off-price retailer. So you get the same sort of brand access and designer access you would at a full-line Saks Fifth Avenue. But now you talk about the savings being in style and these dynamic prices. It's up to 70% off my store every day of the week when you come in.
Right. And this store, there's no store in Vacaville like this at all. This is a one-of-a-kind, very unique stop for our shoppers.
Absolutely. When I think about the one-stop shop aspect of it, Vacaville has a rich history with its outlets over across the street, and I'm very happy to have them there. I'm happy to be able to retail in the space and offer a customer or a consumer an ability to come to one place, find everything they need as a solution to their fashion lifestyle.
Well, we just kind of cruised around a few minutes ago, and as you said, from one end to the other, you've got everything, and it's a beautiful store. It's great in here. I love it. My wife
Thank you so much for that.
My wife will love coming here too. So, you're married, I guess?
Absolutely. My wife Allison and my son Roman goes to school here locally at Kairos, and I get the luxury of dropping them off every day, going and saying hello to folks there, and then hopefully coming and seeing those same faces I get to come to work every day.
Good deal. Well, thank you for coming on with us. Thank you for running this store, and thank you for becoming a part of our community.
No, thank you for the time. I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Well, that's it from the grand opening of the Saks Fifth Avenue off 5th store here at the Nut Tree in Vacaville. Hope you enjoyed our show, and hope you come down and check out some of the great buys they have here in this fabulous store that's now open. Thanks for watching.